Namaste everyone and welcome to Data Millennials.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our Excel series. In this video, I am going to show you how you can use data validation in Excel. When I say data validation, you must think that where you will use this, right? So let's suppose there is a scenario where you want somebody else to input your data in an Excel sheet and you want a student name, class, roll number and marks. So in each of the column, you want to specify that the first column, which is of name, should only contain text values. When we are talking about class should also contain only text value. When we are talking about roll number, it should always contain number. Marks should always contains number. If somebody tries to input something else instead of numbers in marks, it should show them a message that you won't be able to do that because you are supposed to input number here. So we'll take a look at the practical example here. Okay, so let's go to our example first. Now we have our data in column A and column B, which I'll be using in my data validation. Okay, so basically data validation allows you to restrict the access of data entry in a sheet. And how you will do it? You can specify what kind of value do you want. Okay, now currently in our range A1 till A6 we have our country names, and in range B2 to B6 we have our dates. Okay, to find out about data validation, you can go to data and then hover over this data validation and you will get a definition that what data validation is. It states that pick from a list of rules to limit the type of data that can be entered in a cell. Okay, so let's go to our first example. What you need to do is that, so we have total of 8 possible rules which we can implement using data validation. The first one is any value. So for example, if there is an email ID, okay, so you should not put any restriction in email ID, right? The email ID can consist of the name as well as numbers as well as special characters as well as the dot. It should always contain a dot, right? So the first option in data validation is any value. So if I go to data validation, okay, and if I go to settings, you will see allow any value. This means that you are allowing the user to input any value in this particular cell. When I have selected this F2 and then I clicked on data validation and I got at this screen and I select this any value, this means that I'm allowing user to input any kind of value in this particular cell. So if I click OK, right, I can input anything here. I just inputted a garbage value here, okay, and it won't show me any message that you can't put it. Even if I put any dates, for example, if I take this date, it won't show any message, right? Now the whole number. So we were talking about, in our previous example, in the starting of this video, I told you about that if there is a roll number or marks of a student, you should restrict your column to have numbers only, right? Okay, in order to implement that restriction, what you can do is that first you need to go and select the cell in which you want to apply that validation. Click on that, then go to data validation. With this, from the settings option, you need to select whole number. Okay, now you will have a lot of options here. For data, you can see data between. So by default you will get between, but you can select between, not between, equal to, not equal to. So I'll keep explaining everything. So if you want a number between a certain range, for example 1 to 100, you can select this between and you can select the minimum value and then you can select the maximum value. Okay, so the second option is not between. So if you do not want the number between 1 and 100, then you can select this not between. If you want the number equal to be, Okay, so if you want the only a number equals to 50 or 100 or some other numbers, then you can input the number here. Okay, not equal to, if you want a particular number not to be entered in a particular cell, then you can use this one. Then there is greater than. If you want user to input the value greater than a certain number, then you can use this. Less than, if you want the user to input number less than a certain value, or sorry, a certain number, then you can use this option. Second last option is greater than or equal to. Okay, so if you want a user to enter a number, for example, if I want the user to enter the number above 21 or 25, then I can use this option and input the minimum value, which will be 21. So the user will only be able to input number either 21 or above 21. The same thing goes with less than or equal to. If I put 21, then user will only be able to input the number either 21 or below 21 or less than 21. So I'll take between as an example because we use this most often. So the first minimum value I'll put 1. Okay, and maximum value I put 100. Okay, and there is this another settings of, sorry, there is this another tab which says input message. So I can say whole number message. Now I can input the message which I want to show the user who is inputting the value. You have to input number between 1 and 100, and then with error alert. So there are multiple options that you can use. Either you can show them a warning message. Once you show them a warning message, then what will happen is that, okay, let me show you this with the example. Okay, so what I want is that if user inputs a number above 100 or below 1 or less than 1, then Excel should not allow that user to write the number in that cell. So if I'll use stop. Okay, then I'll put the title, for example test, and error message as test, and I'll click OK. So you will see that you will get this option, whole number message. So you remember we typed the message here. Whenever you click on this cell, you will get a message pop up or a message box which states that whole number message, you have to input number between 1 and 100. While if you click on some other cell, you won't get that message. So you have applied the rule on this particular cell. So now let's test it out. I input 1, it takes the number. I input 50, it takes the number. I input 100, it takes the number. Now I'll input 105. Let's see what happens. When I inputted 105, Excel shows me a error message states test. Right? In our error message we put test, or we could write error message that you have to input number between 1 and 100. Even if I retry it, it will show me this option to edit it. Okay, so I can either edit it or I can put 107 just to show you that what it will show me. Again it will show me error. Then the second option here is cancel. If I cancel it, then it will by default choose the highest value which I have given in my rule. Right, now again I'll input the highest number here, 110. Okay, sorry, I'll put 110. Okay, now if you want further more detail about this, you can click on this help button to get details of this data validation. Otherwise you can click on cancel, and by default it will choose the highest number. So this is the way you can restrict a user to input whole number in a particular cell. Now if I drag this particular cell till my 20th row, okay, now the data validation which I applied on this particular cell has been implemented on all these cells. So if I input here 105, it will show me the message that you cannot do that. So you just need to apply data validation on a single cell, and then you can drag it till the range which you want, or you can on the first hand you can select this entire range, and then you can use data validation. Let's go to our second example, which is decimal. Okay, now in this cell I want only decimal values, and I do not want the user to input some other values. Okay, so again I'll go to data validation and I'll select decimal. Okay, it's giving me the same option, so I'll put something like that, 10.5, and the maximum value is 15.5. Input message as test, input number, and I'll put input message as input number between 10.5 and 15.5, and then I'll click on, and for error message I'll put test 1 and test 2. So this time I won't put the stop option. In our first example we use the stop option, so in this time I'll use the warning information. Okay, so that the Excel will show you as a warning message pop-up, and then title I'll put test, and error message I'll put test. I'll click OK. Now you can see that whatever message we had given to within our rule, it's showing here, right? So if I put 10.5 or 11.5, it will take the value. Okay, 12.5, it will take the value. But if I put 16.5, it shows me a warning that whether that you cannot input number above 15.5. so I have written test here, so it means it's showing me a warning message of test. Now if I click on yes, so it's asking me whether do you want to continue with this continue and question mark. If I click on yes, then it will allow me to input another number, or it will allow the number which I had inputted earlier. Okay, now again I'll put a higher number, 17.5. okay, if I click on no, right, then it will take the number which I had inputted, but it will highlight this cell that you have to change this number. Again if I press enter, again it will show me this message. So when you click on no, so basically what Excel is trying to say you is that you are not supposed to input number above 15.5. you should go and amend it and put the number between 10.5 and 15.5. okay, again if you click on cancel, then it will take the highest value which you had inputted earlier, so which is in your memory, or which was whichever number was present in your data validation cell. Okay, so let's go to our next list. So this list is quite interesting. I'll show you by example. I'll go to data validation. Okay, then I'll select list. Now I want to ignore my blank cell and in cell drop down. What it gives me the flexibility is that if you have, so for this example I have used this I had created this country list. Okay, so if you want the user to select country from a drop down, or if you want the user to select your data attribute from a drop down, then you can use this list option. I have selected list. Okay, if I do not want to ignore blank cells, then what will happen is that if your data has any blank row, then it will also show on the top of your drop down list. But I don't want that, and I do not want to show the blank cells or the blank rows, so I'll keep this ignore blank checked, and in cell drop down means if you want this particular cell to act as a drop down menu. Okay, so I'll check this one also. Now it's asking me the source of the data, right? So I'll click on this button, then I'll go to my range where my data is. Make sure that you should not select the header, because either you can, in header you can put all, so that it can act as all countries, act as a parameter for all countries, or you should select only the country names or the data range which has the actual data points. Now again I'll click on this. Okay, so input message and error alert are the same thing. If somebody tries to input something else than this country name which is present in my list, then it will show them a message, error message or a warning message. Okay, so the last thing that in error message was the information. So let's take this one so that we can cover this information also. So input message was select the, sorry, title would be country, and input message will be select the country from this drop down menu. Okay, then I'll go to error alert. Okay, and I'll select information. Title would be and country info. Okay, and my error message, sorry, this states error message, but this is the information message. You have to select the country from this drop down menu. I'll click OK. Now what will happen is that you have added the data validation here, right? Now if you double click on it, you will be able to write country here, okay, or anything else. But when you click on this cell, you will see this drop down value which will show you the country names or the data points which was in your range which you have referred to. So if I select India, everything is fine. If I select anything within this range value, it's fine. But now suppose if I'm typing it and I did a typo mistake, okay, I wrote down India 1, so it will show me an information message that you have to select country from this drop down menu. If you click OK, then again it will allow you to have this value. Then our second option was that this cancel. So if you cancel it, then again it will also allow you to have this value, because we have chosen the error message as information. That's why. Okay, so we had till this point we had covered any value, whole value, decimal and list, right? So you know how you can create a dynamic list. For example, this can turn into a dynamic list. So suppose if I'm adding another country, okay, which is UK. Now what I need to do is that at this point of time, this list is referring from A2 till A6, but I need to add this UK also. So what I'll do, I'll go to this cell, okay, I'll go to data validation. So then I'll go to settings and I'll change this source, and my source will now become from India till UK, and then I'll click OK. Now you will see that you will have this option UK also, right? Okay, so till now we had covered this 4 example. The next example is date. Okay, so let's go and see how we can use date restriction in a column. Again, I'll select this cell J2, go to data tab, under data tab I'll go to text columns. Sorry, I have selected this cell. Then I'll under data tab I'll go to data validation. Then I'll select date. Now it will give me the same option which we had with our whole number decimal. Okay, so the options which earlier we had discussed regarding whole number and decimal, it's again showing me the same options here: between, not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than. So if you want dates between a certain range, then you can use between. If you want the date not to be between a certain range, then you can use this. If you want a particular date to be incorporated in your column, then you can use this equal to. If you do not want a particular date to be incorporated in your cell, then you should use this one, not equal to. If you want the user to input date greater than a certain value, then you can use this greater one, greater than. If you want user to input date less than a certain date, then you can use this less than. Greater than and equal to allows the user to input the value greater than or as of that date, specific to that date, and less than or equal to allows the user to enter the date which is equal to your selected date or less than that selected date. When I say less than, it means earlier to that date. When I say greater than, this means that the future dates. Okay, now I'll select between. Okay, I'll input my start date as 1st January 2020 and I'll input my end date as 1st January 2024. So we had already covered this input message and error alert in our previous 4 examples, right? So I won't be using this in date example. Okay, and then I'll click OK. Now if I input 5th Jan 2020, it allows me to input the date. Okay, now the same thing, if I input 5th Jan 2024, it shows me a message that this value doesn't match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. When you have not given any error message or you have not incorporated any error message in your data validation, then by default Excel will show this message that this value does not match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell. Now either you can click on retry so that you can go and change your dates here. Okay, but if you do not, and if you click on cancel, then it will take the date part, this 05 I had selected, right? This date part of that particular value. So for example, if I select, for example, if I'm selecting 25 January 2027, right? So it won't accept the value. Then if I click on cancel, then what it will do, it will take 25th January 2020 as the date. Okay, so by default what date validation does is that it takes the date part separately, it takes the month part separately, and it takes the year part separately. So it will keep the same date and month part, but it will, by default, it will take the least year within your validation range which you had given. So in my case I had given the least range is 01 January 2020. Okay, now our 6th example, or the 6th option that is given by data validation, is time validation. So if you want to restrict user to input a certain range of time from 1 p.m. till 10 p.m., then you can do that. And how you can do that? You have to select that cell in which you want to apply the data validation. You need to go to data validation. Then from this allow section, you need to select time. Okay, then there is the same option which we had discussed earlier. So I'll use between, and I'll use the time as 22, 13, 15. Okay, and the end time is, so my start time is 10 p.m. 13 minute and 15 second. My end time is 11 p.m. 13 minute and 15 second. Then I'll click OK. Now if I input any number here, for example if I input 45, it will show me an error message, right? So if I click on retry, and again I'll go and input something like this, 22.25.30. so it's right now I've inputted 10 p.m. 25 minute 30 seconds. Okay, and I press enter, so it takes it. This is the way you restrict a user to input time specifically in a cell based on your range of time which you had given in the rules. Now the next option is text length. Okay, so we'll go to data validation. Okay, and we'll take this text length. Okay, now what it does is that you're supposed to input text here in this column L, and you does not want your user to input text more than 50 characters. Okay, so you might have seen in most of the campaigns that, so online campaigns, when I say campaign, I'm saying online campaigns, you have either a bullet button to select multiple options, or you have 100-word limited capacity to write something. So the best example is Twitter, right? I believe it gives us 145 or 140 characters to write, right? So we'll use the Twitter text thing. So I want the text length to be from 1 to 140. So whenever a user enters any value in this column, he had to write down the text which has length less than 140 or equal to 140. So I'll select between. Okay, the minimum value is 1, he have to write something, at least one character, and the maximum value is 140. Okay, then I'll click OK. Now if I'm writing something, if I'm writing my name, it takes the value. If I write some word, for example data analytics, it takes it. Now let's take this data analytics, okay, and paste here in these cells. So we have 25 times data analytics repeating, right? And the length of data analytics is 14 characters. So 25 into 14, it turns out to be total of 350, 25 times of 14, right? It turns out to 350. So our text length validation should not allow all of these data analytics to be incorporated in that cell. So I'll increase the length, I will increase the size, width of this column, okay, so that we can see what we are writing here as an example. Okay, and I'll take this, all of this data analytics, and I'll input it in that cell. So I have to concatenate it first, equal to this and this. So similarly, now I'll drag this formula. So currently you will see that this is the value, okay, and for our example I'll use this value. So I'll put here this data analytics. Now I'll check the length of this one. It should be 350, correct? Its length is 350. So as per our rule, this validation should not allow us to input this data analytics in this cell. So I'll copy this entire data, okay, and I'll input here. Okay, so it gives me an error that this value doesn't match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. So again, I can go to retry, and let's try to remove some of the value from here so that we can get the length here of 140. Okay, so I'll remove some of the data analytics. So now my length reduced to 19. Okay, let's remove few numbers only and see, it's 271. Okay, why I'm doing this, let's go and take from this one. We'll specifically take till 140. Okay, so at this point, you remember we had applied formula to concatenate these entire range into a single cell here. So at this point, this row number 26, we had exactly 140 length, right? So what I'll do, I'll copy paste it here so that we can see that our length is 140. One more time. Yeah, I'll copy this entire thing and I'll paste it here. So as of length of one, to show you that this length is exactly 140, I'll take the length function and I'll put it here. So this cell contains data as of 140th length. If I input anything else, for example, even if I increase one character, it won't take it, right? Now this is the way you restrict a user to input free text. Okay, now we have our last example in this video, that is custom. So let me take this custom example somewhere else where I can show you properly, because we have, okay, I'll take this custom example and I'll show you this custom example here. Okay, now there is an option for you to use your custom data validation in a cell. Okay, now when I say custom validation, you can use your own formulas to create rules within data validation. So whatever we had used till now, this text length, time, date, list, decimal, whole number, and any value is predefined in Excel. But with this custom functionality, Excel allows you to use your own formula to validate this cell. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll put something like this, 5. Okay, so what I want is that I want any value, anything, either text or number, which has length till 5. Okay, if the value within this cell L10 has length more than 5, then it should show me an error message. So I'll go to my data validation. Okay, I'll select custom, then it's asking me to input the formula, right? So I'll do equal to if. So it's asking me to input the formula here. In this formula, the input box which is given under formula. So what I'll do, I'll write the formula here, equal to L10. This L10 cell which I'm using should be less than equal to, I can write 5 here. So this, what it will do, is that it will take the value till, sorry, it will take the data point or the value in this cell till the length of 5. But instead of writing 5 in formula as a hard coded thing, I'll use this cell reference. So this means that my L10 should be less than K10. If L10's length, the value in L10's length is less than the K10 value of K10, which is given here 5, then it's fine. Otherwise, show the error message. I'll click OK. Now I'll put my name here. It has 4 letters, right? Oh, sorry. So this custom formula, if you're using, then you are supposed to oh sorry so what we did in the formula is that the value in custom for validation cell should be greater than 5. This means that it's not taking length, it's taking 5. I'll show you the length example also, but let's take the number here. Okay, it should be less than 5. If I put 4 here, it will work. If I put 2 here, it will work. If I put 5 here, it will also work. But if I put 6 here, it will show me error. Okay, now let's change this data validation. So I have selected this cell, okay, and I'll go to data validation. So when you have selected this cell and go to data validation, then it will show you the last validation that you had applied. So what I'll do is that earlier in our video I have explained you the example that the length of the data point which is in this custom cell should be less than 5, right? So the formula which I should write here is that length of K10, length of L10 should be less than equal to value of K10, which is 5. I'll click OK now. Now when you input any number here, it's fine. It's fine, even 10. So earlier when we used to put 6, when we inputted 6, it shows me error because it was in custom data validation formula. It was taking that this value should not be greater than this 5. Now if you check, I have used the length formula in my data validation. So if I take length of this value, it should be 2, right? It's 2. Now if I take 1000, if I input 1000 here, the length of this value is 4. So it will allow us. If I add one more 0, okay, it will allow me. So the length of this 10,000 is equal to 5. Now if I add one more 0, it should not allow me. It will show me an error message that the length of this cell value has increased more than 5. There you go. This value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. Okay, so I'll click cancel. Now the last thing which is remaining in this video is to show you how you can remove the data validation. So I'll go to my earlier data validations which I have implemented. Okay, now if you want to remove the data validation which you have applied on a cell or on a range, then what you need to do is that you need to select that either that entire range or that particular cell on which you have applied the data validation. Then go to data validation. Okay, you will see here this clear option. If you click on it, then the entire validation which you have applied will be removed from that cell or from that range if you had selected the entire range. So I'll click on this clear all and you will see that the validation has removed. Similarly, if I select this one for decimal, again I'll go to data validation and I'll click on clear all. So now after clicking on clear all, our validation was that we won't be able to input number above 16.5, right? Now if I put 25.5, it allows me to enter it. So we have reached at the end of this video. In our next video, I'll show you how you can freeze panes in Excel.
Hey, if you find this video insightful, then do check out other videos and hit the like and subscribe button.